It was the night before Christmas, and I was really happy to stay awake until late at night. I enjoyed the special feeling of the holiday season while looking out at our backyard covered in snow from a big snowstorm. I sat in the den watching TV, which felt warm and comfortable. Even though the window was open, I didn't close it because I wanted to see the beautiful snowfall outside perfectly. While I was watching the movie, I noticed something in the yard. At first, everything seemed normal with just the snow falling gently. But I felt uneasy and kept looking back at the window, thinking something might be wrong outside. Then suddenly, I heard a loud slam. It was our backyard gate. My heart started beating really fast because of the noise. I quickly put on my shoes and jacket without hesitating. I felt both curious and scared. When I went outside, I saw footprints in the snow going from one gate to another. It made me feel really scared, so I quickly went back inside. I thought it wouldn't be a good idea to check it out more because it might not be safe. When I got home, I saw muddy footprints on the carpet. They started in the living room and went towards my parents' room. I quietly followed them without turning on any lights, thinking someone might have broken a window. But I was surprised to see that everything looked normal. Then I noticed something strange. The footprints were going out of the room, not coming in. I looked up slowly and saw that the garage door was a little bit open. There was someone there, squatting down, wearing a thick coat and boots. They turned and stared right at me, making me really scared. I ran as fast as I could to my parents' room, yelling for help. My dad quickly came out, and we went fast to the garage, but the person who shouldn't be there was gone. I stopped feeling so scared, but then I realized something scary. The person got in through a window in our living room that we forgot to lock. It was a big lesson for us about keeping our home safe and secure. I was really scared when something scary happened. Our phones didn't work because of the storm, so we couldn't call for help. I started to panic because of this unexpected problem. Earlier, Christmas was so nice. We had dinner, gave each other presents, and had a great time with family. But now, we were all scared and unsure. The happy feeling we had before was gone, and the house didn't feel safe anymore. Even though we were scared, we checked everywhere in the house to make sure all the doors and windows were locked. We looked around to see if anything was gone, but everything seemed okay. It felt weird to think that someone might have come in without us knowing. We stayed in the living room together, sitting close and trying to comfort each other. My mom lit some candles because the power had been going on and off in the storm. We sat there, surrounded by the gentle light, listening to the strong wind outside. A lot of time went by, but it felt like it lasted forever. Every sound from the house made us scared. We felt better when the big storm started to quiet down and the snowfall slowed. But we still felt nervous because we thought the person who came in might still be around. As the sun started to come up in the morning, we slowly looked outside. We checked carefully, but we didn't see anyone. When we saw the morning light, we felt a little safer. The phone signal didn't work, so we couldn't call for help right away. But when we finally could, we told the police about what happened. They came in the morning to check what happened and gave us tips to keep our home safe. On Christmas morning, we felt a lot of different feelings. Even though the night before was scary, we tried to make the best of the day. We concentrated on being with each other and were thankful that we were all okay. It was a Christmas we'll always remember because it showed us how crucial it is to stay careful and safe, especially during happy times like this. Before I continue to the next story, if you are interested in earning from YouTube without showing your face or without making videos by yourself using artificial intelligence, like the video that you are watching right now, then I have a special free training for you. Check the first link in the description below to get instant access. When I was a 5-year-old, it was Christmas Eve. I woke up really early, maybe around 3 in the morning. I rushed downstairs because I was so excited to see if Santa had left any presents. There were so many gifts under the Christmas tree. I was incredibly happy and excited because it meant that Santa had definitely come. I was looking around my house, and guess what? I saw someone in the kitchen. It was a super tall guy drinking milk right from our fridge. When I caught him, he signaled for me to stay quiet and said he was Santa Claus. He didn't look like the Santa I knew from pictures, but I believed him completely. He walked into the room where the Christmas tree was and looked at the presents. I thanked him for the gifts, but then something strange happened. He began taking the big boxes, saying he'd exchange them for better ones from his sleigh. I trusted him and he took 3 boxes, promising to come back. He said he'd bring presents. I waited, but nothing happened. Finally, I told my parents. They got really worried when they saw many gifts gone and the back door open. My mom screamed loudly, and my dad got very serious. The police came to our house and asked me lots of questions about a person. I tried to describe him, but all I could really say was that he was tall. That didn't really help the police, and they looked confused. But then something surprising happened. A few days after Christmas, while we were cleaning up, we discovered a secret door in our kitchen cupboard. It led to a small room. Inside, we found some of the presents that had gone missing in an old Santa Claus outfit. It was pretty spooky and weird. The cops came back and checked everywhere in the area. They discovered signs that someone had been living secretly in a hidden room. They found things like food wrappers and blankets, showing that someone had stayed there. But here's the surprise, the fingerprints they found didn't match anyone we knew. So, they couldn't figure out who it was. The entire neighborhood got really scared. Everyone made sure their doors were locked. My parents were very careful, and I needed a night light to feel safe for weeks. The police looked into it for a long time, but they couldn't find out who this really tall stranger was or how he came and went without anyone seeing. It was like a story from a movie. They did everything they could, but it was like the guy just disappeared into nothing. As time passed, the scary thing that happened became a funny story we liked to tell instead. But every Christmas, we'd tease each other about watching for our secret Santa. Now that I think about it, it's a crazy story from when I was a little kid. When I used to really believe in Santa Claus, Christmas felt like a super special time. One Christmas Eve or maybe early Christmas morning, I woke up feeling really thirsty. The house was super quiet as everyone was asleep. I got out of bed to find some water. At night, the soft lights in the living room and kitchen helped me see as I quietly went downstairs. I really wanted a cold drink. Instead of taking it back to my room, I always drank it in the kitchen. It was just one of the funny things I did when I was younger. I took a sip from my drink and heard strange noises coming from the room where our big Christmas tree was. It sounded like someone was moving a big bag. Even though it was dark, I thought it might be my mom, so I went downstairs to check. But when I got closer, the noises suddenly stopped. I got brave and turned on the lamp. Guess who was there? It was Santa Claus. He was wearing a bright red suit and had a big white beard. I couldn't believe it. He signaled for me to come over. I was so nervous and excited. Santa said he had presents for me in a huge bag. I wanted to see what was inside, but he stopped me. He said it was a surprise. He saw the gifts under the tree, which proved he was telling the truth. Then, quietly, he said it was time for him to go back to sleep. He helped me go upstairs, but I kept looking at him because he seemed interesting. Strangely, he took me a different way and told me to go up more stairs. While I was going up, I saw that he had switched off the small light, making shadows appear behind me. When I got to my room and shut the door, I felt super excited. I couldn't believe I was going to see Santa. But just as I was getting lost in my thoughts, I heard a really loud noise from downstairs. It scared me a lot. I thought maybe it was Santa leaving, and the sound traveled all the way up to my room. When I woke up in the morning, I heard my mom shouting downstairs. I hurried to the living room and saw something really worrying. There were no presents under the Christmas tree, and the big window was broken. I was shocked because I didn't understand what had happened. I was confused and told my parents everything that I remembered, including when I thought I saw Santa. They got really worried and told the police about it. The police looked into it a lot and found out that other families had the same problem. They were surprised to find out that someone dressed as Santa Claus was getting into houses through open windows and taking presents from under Christmas trees. The police started working hard to catch this fake Santa because they saw it was happening in many places. After Christmas, my parents had a serious chat with me. They told me that Santa Claus isn't actually real and warned me to be careful about believing in things that might not be true. Thinking back on that strange Christmas, I understood something important. The special feeling I had during the holiday wasn't just about a guy in a red suit. It was more about the happiness, kindness, and love that filled the air. Even though I stopped believing in Santa, the magic of Christmas stayed with me. I'll always remember that night when I thought I saw Santa, because it showed me the real enchantment of the season.